for a new episode. Know you probably waiting, plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned in to Bro Conversations. Like I was me, just on the dead. Yeah. Hey. Let me see, move it like this. Hey. We are now. I'm in here dolo. Again. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you are now tuned in to another very fucking special episode of Bro Conversations, the world's most poverty-stricken podcast. I'm on my shit today, man. I'm sober. I'm clear-minded. I'm so ready. I got a whole lot of shit in motherfucking store for this episode. But listen, like I said, before we get started, I just hope that little soundtrack. I just hope that everybody, you out there, you got something to smoke on, got something to sip on, and yeah, I ain't about to harp too much. Let's go ahead and get right into the first topic. I don't even know if I said let me go ahead and get this out of the way. If you watching this shit on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that shit. I be forgetting because I just be trying to get to the shit. So let's go ahead and get to the shits. I'm your host, OGOD, all that shit. Yeah. Anyway, first topic on the motherfucking docket. I don't know how many of my podcast listeners listen to other podcasts, but if you are a fan of other podcasts and in that universe and stuff like that, the Joe Budden Podcast Network had recently had a breakup. Rory and Mal have left the podcast, and if you know about that, you know about that, and if you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But since then, Rory and Mal, they have came together for collaboration and made their own motherfucking podcast called the Rory and Mal Podcast. And I just first of all, I never thought that I would see a day that this will happen, especially with Rory and Mal, because I feel like even on the Joe Budden podcast, that they had the least amount of chemistry. I mean, that was super cool, but everybody, you know what I'm saying? It was mostly, I feel like Joe really brought everybody together, just being him and making those relationships and stuff like that. And stuff like that. But yeah, they recently dropped their first episode. Damn. She. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Damn, but listen, they recently dropped their first episode. I think it was a little bit over an hour. Damn, excuse me. Hold up. Their first episode was a little bit over an hour and shit like that, and honestly, man, bruh, I feel like them two together, they make better content separate. They make better content, especially when it comes to podcasting, separate from Joe. You know what I'm saying? Because Joe is very how do I say this? Like when Joe likes to steer the conversation, like and like ask most of the questions and shit like that, and he leaves little room for other people to give their input unless he directly asks. But I really loved sitting down for an hour and listening to Rory and Mal catch up on current event topics and shit. Them talking about new music that just came out and giving their perspective in depth. Because especially for somebody like Mal, because when he initially got on the podcast, he wasn't really saying much and shit like that. And I'm talking about Joe's podcast, but for this first episode, man, it's really dope to see how far they both have come, and to see and hear the motherfucking connections that they make behind the scenes and shit like that with artists. I think for the first episode, this most definitely was a motherfucking success. The only thing I did miss and I did want is they need that Rory and Mal drop from the Joe Budden podcast. I want that, or at least make a new one. They need that motherfucking drop. That drop has been incorporated into the podcasting universe for motherfucking years and years and years. So yeah, but anyway, shout out to Rory and Mal, man. Shout out to Rory and Mal, man. Big motherfucking inspiration, especially for somebody like me, just starting this shit from scratch and shit like that. And they did that with the Joe Budden podcast, and they continuing to do that with the little skits and stuff like that. And I really love to see them be aware of all the fanfare, I guess you would say, around them. It's super dope. But like I said, again, shout out to motherfucking Rory and Mal. And I ain't gonna lie, the rest of this podcast is all music. So if you don't want to hear about no new music, nah, I'm just playing. Sit down and motherfucking listen. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hey, I don't know where you been. I don't know where you been. But Tory Lanez and the Baby just dropped a new song about 3 days ago, to be exact, from this date. But if you watching this, it might be a week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, especially on YouTube or whatever. But listen, Tory Lanez and the Baby just dropped the motherfucking brand new music video called Skat. And honestly, I believe that Tory teased this shit like around the time that the Megan Thee Stallion shooting incident was going on, or alleged shooting incident was going on. I believe Tory dropped the teaser, but obviously probably the Baby's PR team was like, nah, let's not do that yet, because it's not the right move just yet. But anyway, it's been a few months, or even maybe, I don't even know. I feel like that album review I did for Tory Lanez's album Daystar, the album that he explained that he didn't do it and all that other shit, I feel like that shit was like a year ago. So it low-key may have been a year, or at least like 6 months or whatever. But anyway, they dropped it. And all I gotta say is them niggas went the fuck off. And honestly, I didn't know exactly how that energy would meld, because if you, especially if you've been focusing on Tory Lanez and his recent moves on Instagram and shit like that, he's been focused on like making R&B shit, you know what I'm saying? Like more, and don't get me wrong, I love some R&B, but I don't think I want to hear a whole R&B project at this point in my life from anybody, you know what I'm saying? So I've been, after Daystar, I know he dropped like 2 or 3 albums. I've been, chill on that, but nigga, I'm eventually go back to it, because I know for a fact Tory Lanez got the rap and he got the motherfucking singing shit on lock. But the thing, and I'm glad I'm talking about this, because the thing about Tory Lanez is I want him to make a complete rap album. No singing, no hook, no harmonizing melodies, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because that nigga most definitely has the motherfucking skill. I need 12 to 14 songs, nothing but rap. Get on some motherfucking, I want to hear that nigga on some New York shit. I don't even give a fuck what the BPM is. I just want to hear that nigga rap. Tory Lanez is one of the greatest, and he's proved that ever since he beat Joyner Lucas in the one-on-one rap battle on Instagram or whatever. Like Joyner admitted that he motherfucking lost, and that was a big surprise, because I was rooting for Joyner. But yeah, ever since that, Tory has proved himself as a motherfucking rap MC. Ooh, excuse me. Has most definitely proved himself as a motherfucking rap MC. So shout out to the Baby, you know what I'm saying, Charlotte, North Carolina shit, you know what I'm saying, stand up, and also Tory Lanez, shout out to Canada, all that shit. Anyway, moving on. I think when Roddy Ricch said, all right, but before I even get into that, Roddy Ricch has also recently dropped a music video, and a song called Late at Night. And as I watched it about listened to about 3 times, watched it about 2 times, and shit like that. And something I noticed is, I've heard Rowdy drop Micheal Jackson bars on Moonwalk Like Mike, but niggas can say anything. It's the attention to motherfucking detail. This Late at Night song. First of all, before I even get to that, I'm convinced that you can throw a piano in front of Roddy Ricch, or give this nigga the most bass. He can rap over Beethoven and make it, and damn near give you motherfucking chills. You know what I'm saying? Roddy Ricch is one of those artists where either I'm gonna say 10 out of 10. Roddy Ricch knows what to do with a beat and a piano. That's all this nigga. He don't need no more elements in the shit. That's all he need. A motherfucking piano and a beat. This nigga 10 out of 10 kills every single song. I have yet to hear a song that I didn't like, or a song that was so with Roddy Ricch and a fucking piano on it. Now that I got that out of the way, all right. But yeah, like I said, Late at Night, this music video on YouTube, it was most definitely very heavily Micheal Jackson Micheal Jackson inspired. He had the director or whatever, the of the music video, they basically redid and revamped Thriller in like a new type of way, but still like with the old shit. It's it's super dope when you can see young art, especially for me, when I see young artists my age or maybe a year or two older than me. I don't know how old Roddy is, but that nigga, he looks super young. He look younger than me. Um, and, yeah, but I really love that. I really love when young artists try to take it back with the visuals or with the sample or even verbatim bars from older artists and putting their new spin and new twist on it. I love seeing shit like that, my nigga. And Roddy Ricch is a full fledged example of that shit. Like I said, man. First of all, it's album time. First of all, it's album time. If we don't get an album from Rowdy this year, I'm gonna be a little mad. But this nigga is making big moves behind the scenes and shit like that. And like I said, man, once again, shout out to Roddy for motherfucking showing paying homage to motherfucking Mike, showing that motherfuckers really respect the love of the art. You know what I'm saying? And in his motherfucking music video, he like I said, he had the whole Thriller theme, the whole dancing and turning into a werewolf, and 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 a super fucking fire ass twist at the motherfucking end. All I gotta say is, man, shout out to motherfucking Roddy Ricch. That nigga does not motherfucking disappoint. And please be on the lookout. Now, I know I said this shit for the Voice of the Heroes. I said I was gonna do an album review, but I'm not. It's just so much music has dropped that I like probably more than that. So you know what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm really glad that I said that because that's the perfect motherfucking segue. I'm about to get. Well, actually, but before I do that. Let me read the article right quick. Source from hotnewhiphop.com. And I quote: In New Jersey, Newark, Mayor Roz Barker is set to unveil an enormous statue of the late Minneapolis resident to be displayed outside of their city hall for at least 1 year. The statue was donated to the city this week as a part of an effort to develop a world class art public program, and who the figure is going to be, of that giant statue that will be up for a year is George Floyd. You know what I'm saying, George Floyd, and let me hit the applause. Oh shit, ain't working. You what? There you go. George Floyd, man, George Floyd. The city of Minneapolis is fun is nah, I don't even want to say finally is actually, you know what I'm saying, giving light to something that actually needs to be given light. And nine times out of 10, the statues of old, it's always a rapist or a fucking racist or a slave owner or 3 in 1 most of the time. You know what I'm saying, especially in not even just America, because I feel like us as Americans talk too much shit about America. Like, first of all, it's not the best country at all, but it's a motherfucking great country to motherfucking live in and to thrive in and to grow up in, because this is a first world country. So even the brokest niggas over here ain't that is not the same level as being the brokest nigga in the third world country. Them niggas are dying of diseases and shit like that, drinking fucking dirty water, like they have no choice, contaminated shit like that. And if we really put it in perspective, America is not that motherfucking bad. We do deal with a lot of bullshit, and still we deal with the ramifications of slavery, i.e. Section 8 housing, redlining, and a whole lot of other shit, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah. Like I said, shout out to motherfucking city of Minneapolis, man. I'm really glad that we can even have these talks and have these conversations, because like I said, I feel like you've heard me say this time and time again, and I'm gonna say it. I feel like cancel culture doesn't exist, but the pressure of it does make these big corporations and even some parts of the government, especially in this case, take a microscope to their own actions and really tread lightly and try to do the right thing, or at least in the public eye. You know what I'm saying? At least in the public eye. Everybody act different when the cameras turn off, when the mic turn off, when you're not on Instagram, or when you're not trying to advocate for yourself to be reelected for something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that being said, shout out again to the city of motherfucking Minneapolis, and again, RP to George Floyd. Now, today's gonna be a little different. You know why? Because I got two, not one. I got two album reviews. One of them is Larry June. One of them is Larry June, the Orange Print. Is gonna be album review, and the other one is gonna be the Migos Culture 3. But I'm gonna get to the Migos shit a little later. Let's start with the motherfucking Larry June. For the Larry June motherfucking project, like I said, it's called Orange Print. Orange Print. Orange Print. I just want to make it clear because I remember that one of the last album reviews I did for the Conway the Machine. I called that shit the La Quinta, and that's what I called that shit the La Quinta for them to the whole album review. They was like, yeah, oh yeah, no, that's not the name. It's the McQueena. I got to get it right. Larry June Orange Print. Orange Print. Orange motherfucking print. Anyway, first of all, I feel like me listening, me listening to this shit over and over and over again, and then pressing shuffle, and then listen to front to back, back to front. You know what I'm saying? First of all, let's talk about how long it is. This Orange Print album by Larry June is 13 songs, 36 minutes, and 46 seconds long. I feel like, especially for artists like Larry June makes slapper music. Larry June don't make songs with 4 or 5. Larry June don't make songs with three or four verses. He normally make a fire ass hook, and two clean ass verses on that shit, and then end it with the hook, and that shit is motherfucking super dope. Larry June don't got too many songs that's like 5 minute long or 4 minute long, or you know what I'm saying, super motherfucking long. And a lot of artists that use that method, I think it's super smart because you want to get more streams on your shit. The shorter your song or the more addictive the melody is and shit like that, the more you want to run it back, and that's more money in your pocket. And it's really crazy that it's really crazy that, like, especially how the game is now. If you look back years and shit like that, to the greats, to the Al Greens, to the Bill Withers and shit like that, they used to have songs that was 10 minutes long, 7 minutes long, and they wouldn't even be singing over it. They would sing over maybe like 2 or 3 minutes and then have a guitar solo or drum solo, or something like that. But it was something that would give you chills because it was something for your motherfucking soul. But nowadays, especially when we want to get to SoundCloud artists and shit, it's like a 1 minute, 1 minute 30, 2 minutes max. You know what I'm saying? And even the big artists, that's, like I said, that's incorporated over to that. Even like niggas like the Baby, you ain't gonna hear too many you ain't gonna hear any probably 4 minute or 5 minute songs from the Baby. I don't think I want to hear him rap that long on one beat. No offense to the nigga, he that's just his rap style. But yeah, I say all that to say that first of all, there are no skips on this album, no skips at all, no skips at all. So that is a motherfucking big plus. Like I said, 13 songs and a little bit over 36 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was the perfect amount, especially like I said, this day and age. That's the perfect motherfucking amount of songs. No motherfucking skips on this shit. And something I noticed is Larry June is, first of all, this is the first album that I've ever heard in full of his. So you know what I'm saying? I just want to put that out there because I just put YouTube just put me on him a few weeks or a few months ago or whatever. They started putting his videos in my algorithms and shit like that. And I think it's because I maybe watched the Currency video 1 or 2, and then they suggest shit like that. Because if you don't know, Larry June is or was cool with Currency. I don't know the state of their relationship or whatever, but I think he got put into bigger and different positions because of Currency and shit like that. But I feel like, well, first of all, let me go ahead and get to the standout songs on this bitch. I got Say Less featuring Dej Loaf as a standout song. Wait on Me. That was probably the single. That's my favorite shit. And it's so crazy because Wait on Me, I've literally been living that shit. I've been taking like a bar or two that he said in that and like incorporating that shit in my life. Like I love music that make you motherfucking self-reflect. If you can't tell, if you ain't never heard my music, yeah, it's that lyrical shit. It's that shit you make you self-reflect. It's that shit you be like, oh damn, that's true as fuck. Yes, and I love being relatable. I love having that effect on people and even myself when I run it back. And speaking of, I'm glad. Yeah. Speaking of, but before I even get to let me slow down. Before I get too far in this album review, I want to say, hey, new song is on the way. I don't know when you can expect it, but new song is on the way, and the title of it is called "Grow and Resonate." I just finished it. Just got it back from the producer a little like a day or two ago or whatever. Well, if you seeing this, like I said, probably a week or two ago. I don't know, but yeah though, man. grow and resonate. But this time, I'm gonna do this shit different. I'm about to start putting my shit on Apple Music, on SoundCloud is cool, but I want to get streams for my shit. I want to actually start getting paid, even if it's pennies on the dollar at first. Because yeah, I'm at the point where I'm super comfortable in my talent. I'm super motherfucking comfortable in my talent, and I need to just yeah. I need to start seeing some progress in the shit. So be on the motherfucking lookout for that. I can't give you a date, but the song is in the tuck right now. So hey, but yeah though, back to this Larry June Orange Print album review. This album was very sonically diverse. Larry had songs. Larry had songs on this album that sounded like YG type of flow or YG type beats, and he also went to the singing shit for the ladies and shit like that. And then he also went back to what I believe to be his core shit is just chill, smoking weed, riding around music. I feel like Larry June specifically makes music for that, and that's not a diss at all. It's just some artists just got a different lane and a different motherfucking aspect of this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just motherfucking totally different. Um, but yeah, standout songs. Let me restate them. My mind is everywhere, but I like it. Standout songs: "Say Less" featuring Dave's Loaf, "Wait on Me," "You Gotta," "Iced Coffee," and "Iced Coffee." So I got four standout songs on this bitch that really motherfucking stood out to me that I'll replay regardless. But like I said, even though I only have four standout songs, that's just the standout ones. He still has slappers on this bitch, but it just wasn't a standout song to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. And that's all good. That's all good. Still Larry did a song called "Still Cooking," and it really reminded me of OG Macko. Larry got so many motherfucking flows, and I feel like that's an aspect that I also carry. But I'm not trying to make this about me. This is a motherfucking album review for Larry June. This is an album review for Larry June, not me. But yeah, you cannot count his flows and shit like that. But but listen, the only critical I guess the critical critique that I have on this motherfucking album is this nigga says almost in every song. This nigga says almost in every single song. I'm drinking green tea or green juice. Like this, it does not fail, my nigga. I'm stopped for some green tea. I'm about to pick up some green tea, green juice, healthy nigga. I'm about to literally listen. Like I said, it's cool because everybody don't got to be lyrical, and I love to see people like that because me observing this rap game and I'm not the biggest hip hop head, but I believe my repertoire and my reputation precedes itself when it comes to music and music opinions. But fuck, what was I about to say? He was saying Green's Head. Yeah. Well, I guess I was about to expound on that, but yeah. Listen, that's literally the only critique I have on this album. This bitch is sonically perfect. And like I said, even the songs that aren't my standouts, which is most of the album, because I only got four standouts, 4 or 5 standouts or whatever. They're still motherfucking smooth. I could listen to this shit like it and something. And something that also stands out with this album is he only had 3 features on this entire album. Larry only had 3 features, and let me tell you what they were. They were Trade the Truth, like I said, Deja Loaf, and also Money Man. You know what I'm saying, on 13 songs. I feel like when artists do shit like that, when they only have a limited amount of features and shit like that, they have something to motherfucking show and prove. And if you didn't know, just like I may have not known like to the fullest extent that I know now before I heard this album, Larry June is really about that shit. Larry June is not a bullshit ass artist, and I feel like. And I feel like he took his time composing this shit. Even if all the songs on this album were a one take, which I doubted. No offense to him. I feel like he really listened to the motherfucking the whole shit and the experience. And I feel like his hand was in the. I feel like a lot of his thoughts and shit that he wanted to produce for the song came to fruition because he was actually hands on with his music. I feel like a lot of artists they just punch in and leave, punch in and leave, punch in and leave. And me, I even do that shit, sometimes because I don't know producers. I only know like one producer that actually make beats and stuff like that. But I haven't even rapped on that one, or rapped on theirs yet. But so I'll be buying my shit off B-Stars. But it's a whole different element. Like I love when artists, like I said, trick the motherfucking streaming system and shit like that. So motherfucking shout out to Larry June. Um, that's not it. Oh, I knew I shouldn't have did that. It's all good, but anyway, I feel like I'm dragging this bitch along. Listen, nigga, listen. Let me get it right. Let me get my words right, my diction. Larry June, Larry June, Orange Print album review. And for me, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10. If that's only if you asking me, I get this bitch a 9 out of 10. If you like the West Coast vibe, the slower BPM shit, and niggas still spitting like some niggas still getting somewhat lyrical and shit like that, but still with the cool chill nigga vibe. Just you could chill, roll around with a bitch, get some smoke some weed to this shit, my nigga. Most definitely go check this out. Shout out to motherfucking Larry June. And now, well, before I even get to that, shout out to like I said, shout out to Larry June, man. Shout out to motherfucking Larry June. And let's go ahead and get to the motherfucking Culture 3 album review. It is commencing in 3, 2. First of all, I think the year that they took off, because I believe initially they wanted to drop around the time COVID had started. So I believe them taking a year off or however long off to tweak and maybe take songs off and put songs on. I feel like this is literally this. Let me not get too ahead of myself. I feel like they really fine tuned this motherfucking album. I don't I it sounds like they really was riding around with this bitch like for an extended period of time just to make sure that they wanted to, for me, be better than Culture 2, because honestly Culture 2 was cool, but honestly I don't. If you ask me, or I think any Migos fan, I don't think Culture 2 slapped harder than Culture 1. And I feel like they really had something to prove with this one. And honestly, I have a long ass list of standout tracks on there. So let me go ahead and read y'all them right quick. Standout tracks: Antisocial featuring Juice World, Type Shit featuring Cardi B, Malibu featuring Polo G, Vaccine, Needed, Straightening, Jane, Time for Me, Handle My Business. That's 9 songs. And keep in mind, there were only 19 songs on this album. This album was about an hour and 15 minutes. I just named you 9 songs on that bitch. So damn near half the motherfucking album. Damn near half is this on? Damn near half the motherfucking album is standout songs to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, not 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 everybody can motherfucking do that. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes motherfucking skill to do and slide in and out of the pockets that they were. And actually I'm glad I brought it up because yeah, Quavo specifically is obviously the pop star. Quavo is obviously the biggest Migo, but um I think, like I said, if you ask any Migos fan, and especially me, I think Offset has it when it comes to bars and the wordplay and the flows and pockets that he chooses. Takeoff is not nobody to fucking scoff at either though. Takeoff has elevated his flow, and something in this album that I really noticed is they're using they're using bigger words and they're using more words to fill up a space for a bar. You know what I'm saying? Cause back in the day, and it seems like every time I talk about Migos, I bring up No Label too. But I feel like that was their best album to me, especially me in my life. I needed that. That was my anthem. Middle school going into high school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, though. And 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 also to add on to that, them niggas just dropped the motherfucking deluxe. Listen, I have not even got a chance to listen to the deluxe, like, cause honestly, oh, and that's another point. They dropped the deluxe and shit like that. But listen, one thing, one of my criticisms of this Culture 3 album is it was long. It was very long. But listen, just I feel like they have an excuse, like I said earlier, because of COVID. COVID hit and nobody noticed it and shit like that. And at the same time, if it wasn't an hour and 15 minutes, I probably wouldn't have nine, almost half this shit as my standouts. You know what I'm saying? So I give them that. But for me, typically, I think for a Migos album, give me 40-45 minutes. Yeah, that's it. Give me 40-45 minutes for a Migos album, and just make sure they all slappers. That's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they all undeniable slappers. I feel like if they just dropped the 9 songs that I just said that would stand out, that would be it'd be super crazy. But listen, I love like I said, I love the fact that Quavo is the only one in the group using auto tune and he doesn't overuse it. I love the fact that they had a motherfucking Justin Bieber feature on this bitch. And speaking of features, let me go ahead and run down the list. They had 8 features on this bitch. They had Drake, they had Future, like they had Cardi B, Polo G, like I said, Justin Bieber, Juice WRLD, Pop Smoke, and NBA YoungBoy. That needed track. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, niggas went motherfucking dumb. Niggas went motherfucking dumb, and like I say, even with the singing shit back to Quavo, I feel like Quavo is like the modern day T Pain when it come to auto tune. Y'all heard me say it. I know T Pain is a legend. Listen to my words. I feel like Quavo is the modern day T Pain when it comes to auto tune. He does not overuse it. He does it perfectly when he sings. He got the melodies down packed. It's super motherfucking addictive. Like I'm gonna say it again, nigga. Just in case you didn't, I'ma stand on what I said, bitch. If you got something to say, if you got a comment, if you got something to say, leave that motherfucker in the comment. You know what I'm saying? Quavo is the modern day C Pain when it comes to this auto tune shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is doing shit motherfucking totally different. They had a lot of features on this shit, but I would never fault them because the reason why I watched the Instagram clip or whatever of Quavo explaining why they even called it culture and shit like that, and what he said was something. One of the things that he said was the reason why they even named this little series this series of albums culture is um a lot of rappers and a lot of entertainers was playing with their name. They was calling them mumble rappers and shit like that when the Migos have been damn near instrumental. Expect most definitely instrumental when it comes to modern day music in Atlanta, especially. But that obviously seeps over into even places like where I live, North Carolina, California, all over the globe. I promise you can find niggas rapping like Migos and rapping most definitely like Migos, using their flows, maybe even use their motherfucking ad-libs. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that was super dope. They chose that time in history just to make sure that these niggas know that yeah, y'all can say all the shit you want, but my nigga, every time we drop, every time we come out, selling out shows, especially when we link up, and that's another thing, man. Rap, not even rap, entertainment groups, even when it come to podcast, even when it come to podcasting or music or whatever, groups seldom stay together, my nigga. They seldom do. Maybe they have a 10-year run if they motherfucking lucky, but groups seldom stay together. But like you can tell by just little things. The Migos just did a freestyle for a radio station a little while ago. I think it was Power 105, whatever. All three of them came, spit some shit, and just off that, just off the chemistry of that, I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing they are most definitely in sync, in sync, like a motherfucker. And I know that because the niggas and the people that I choose to rap with, you have to have that rapport just to get off certain shit. You know what I'm saying? And something I noticed is they're really focused on the solo aspect and just making sure each person a part of the Migos group gets their time to shine. I noticed that when they were rapping on that freestyle shit, the other two Migos weren't putting in ad-libs or whatever, because when they first came out, that's something that they was doing heavy and shit like that. So they're doing their own ad-libs, they're doing their own verses and shit like that, and they're stopping at the right time on the beat to give the other person, you know what I'm saying, that much room. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm rapping and freestyling by myself, this was like, when I'm rapping and freestyling with other people, it's most of the time like one person, but 3 people, like, I feel like that's a whole different element. That's a whole different set of emotions and shit like that you can bring to the motherfucking table. So it really ain't no motherfucking pressure. And just like, I feel like, just like with this shit, just like this shit I'm doing now, I ain't gonna lie, I fucked up a little bit earlier. I was coughing and shit like that. But listen, that's just how it is. Like when it's just you, when it's just one-on-one, then you gotta take what motherfucking come with that. But anyway, let me go ahead and finish this review. No Label 2 vibes are heavy. No Label 2 vibes are heavy. That's everything. All right. The ranking. I gotta start remembering some motherfucking rank shit. If I'ma rank this shit at a 1 out of 10, I give this bitch a 10. You heard me, bitch. You heard me. 1 out of 10, this is a 10. They couldn't do anything to make this better. You heard me? The Migos couldn't do anything to make Culture 3 better. This will be a heavy contender with Album of the Year when we talking about that style of music. No offense to me, because I wouldn't put them up against my favorite artists like Joey Badass, Conway the Machine, Royce the 5'9", or Freddie Gibbs. I wouldn't put them in that conversation, because that's the holy grail if you ask me, when we talking about lyricism and just rapability and shit like that. But I feel like for especially Atlanta style shit like that, you know what I'm saying, they are the godfather to that shit. You cannot deny these niggas that. Like I said, I got 9, count them, 9 standout songs on this 19 song album, and they just dropped the deluxe. These niggas going crazy, going dumb. I cannot wait to see clips of them on Instagram or they're on Snapchat rocking out shows to this shit, making this shit ginormous. Like shout out to the motherfucking Migos. They listen. If anybody deserve they flowers while they here, it's the Migos. And if you don't agree, stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the motherfucking cap. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and if anybody got something to say, if anybody got something to say, just tell them that shit is unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, well, your mom. Where your mom's at? Where your mom's at? But listen though, this shit was long, especially for it to be solo. It was longer than the last one. But anyway, hey, I'm about to get up out of here. That has been the Broke Conversations podcast, the world's most poverty-stricken podcast. We broke. No EDD scams, no fraudulent loans. I ain't stealing nobody's stimulus check. I ain't taking the dead people's stimulus check and cashing them in as mine. I ain't doing none of that, nigga. We broke. I'm employed, but I'm fully broke. And especially after today, I'm gonna be broke after all these excursions I'm about to do. But hey, I already said that. Be good. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. End of this shit like, yeah, be good. Anyway, like I said, this has been the Broke Conversation podcast, world's most poverty-stricken podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a review on Apple, wherever you seeing this. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, damn. I feel like I'm missing something. Fuck it. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. For a new episode, know you probably waiting. Plant a seed in your brain, let me pollinate it. And I'm not like the rest, I don't do the faking. You are now tuned in to Broke Conversations.